Hello everyone, it's been a while since I've done a video about anything, so I decided I might as well do a video on a rubber band haul. This is my organizer. It's pretty full and I found so many more colors and there's not enough spaces to put all those colors in, but as you can see there's a lot of bare spots right now because I've been making a lot of rubber band things, and these are just some of my older creations. This one is one of my first from August of last year. It's still holding up together. It's made out of Crazy Loom rubber bands, which pretty good quality rubber bands. The only negative I have to say about the Crazy Loom rubber bands is when you buy them in the pack, sometimes you might have 2 or 3 S-clips that are broken, and you may have anywhere to 3 to 5 rubber bands that are too badly misshapen or broken out of your 300 pack of rubber bands. Otherwise than that, pretty good brand. I think Rainbow Loom's the best. In my rubber band haul, I bought some Fun Loops rubber bands. It's loops spelt with 4 O's in the middle. And these rubber bands are horrible. They are soft, which is great for if you're wearing them. Is really comfortable, but they don't hold their form really well when you're making leaves or flowers with your rubber bands and stuff. And the other bad thing about these is when you stretch them, they white out. So you can't really, right now these look really great on camera, but if you're really looking at these, you see spots where they're white out and they break. I used this on my Rainbow Loom, which kind of stretched them a bit far, and then I used them on my Crazy Loom, and they still broke. It doesn't matter which loom you use, how good of a hook you have. These are just really bad rubber bands. And I'm going to never, buy them again. So, stay away from Fun Loop. There's other brands that you can pay and get cheaper, and they hold up a lot better and hold their form better. Seahorse is made out of Rainbow Loom rubber bands. Rainbow Loom is probably the best brand you can buy. They don't really sell any $1.99 packages, like packages of 300 in the store at Michael's. I only have access to a Michael's as far as Rainbow Loom rubber bands go. And at their website, you have to pay shipping and handling. Their shipping and handling is really cheap, though. I think even if you were to go on Rainbow Loom's website to buy their rubber bands and pay their shipping and handling, it'll still be worlds cheaper than buying your rubber bands out of a store like Justice or Claire's, which have ridiculous small prices. They literally had a bag of 300 rubber bands at Justice for $8. $8 for 300 rubber bands is you being swindled. That's not a good price. There's nothing special about their rubber bands. It's better than the ones you only pay $1 for. And this right here I got at the mall, at the Joann's craft store. We actually have a craft store in our mall. It's River Ridge Mall in Lynchburg, Virginia. And we have Joann's in the mall. This is Darice's brand. It's stretch band bracelet loops. The Darice brand is sold at Joann's and AC Moore. At AC Moore, it's going to be this blue label. A lot of times, though, Darice is not going to be on the label, but it's the same exact picture of the same exact bracelet and just says stretch band bracelet loops. This is the 1,000 piece bag. Darice is really good. It's just as good as Crazy Loom and the Rainbow Loom brand. The rubber bands work great together with Crazy Loom and the Rainbow Loom brands. They're about the same size. Unlike Crazy Loom, though, I get less broken rubber bands in Darice's bag. So that's good. You're getting more bang for your buck. And then this is a bag of 1,000 multicolor rubber bands. To answer some of y'all's questions real quick, no, there's not an even representation of each color in this bag. It's close for some colors, not close for others. But it's still you get pink, red, orange, yellow, blue, turquoise or light blue color, neon green, black, white, and purple. So it's a good color mix. Just got all your basic colors and stuff except for a dark green. I wish it was a dark green, but if you love neon green, it's got neon green. So it's pretty cool. All the colors of the rainbow. And These are latex free, but one of the other things that's nice about Darice's brand, in addition to saying that they're latex free, they also say lead free, because a lot of times these rubber bands, in order to be latex free, they're made out of some type of plastic instead of rubber. And the problem with that is, I think, is really nice that they actually go ahead and say lead free, because if it's made out of plastic, you need to know if it's lead free also, because you're going to be wearing these, it's going to be on your skin. So that's a really nice thing about Darice's brand. They don't just say latex free, they also say lead free. Also, they don't smell really bad, which is where I'm going to go and take that comment and go straight to Expressions DIY bands. DIY by Expressions is one of my least favorite brand names to buy, because you can get a lot of broken or misshapen bands. The way they process their rubber bands, you could tell that the machine kind of, my camera's not going to show it, but the machine kind of pinches the rubber bands, almost like they are pinched together, and they could snap really easy at that part. It's like they were two halves and then they're put together, the way their machine makes the rubber bands. Because I was always wondering why they broke so easily, some batches of DIY. The other thing I don't like about DIY is when you open up the bag, DIY can sometimes have a strong chemical smell. These are scentless DIYs, so it's not really as much of a problem. They are latex free, and they do refer you to YouTube, although I have not found their channel. It says instructions included, and it says as seen on YouTube, and I've seen people using DIY on YouTube. I have not found the DIY channel. If you can link their channel to mine, it's cool. If not, I mean, there's so many better instructional videos than a lot of these brand named videos. But, they're the hair people. But this is the real DIY. There's several DIY brands out there, and Expressions was first with the DIY brand. But there's knockoffs, so just beware that there's knockoffs upon knockoffs and knockoffs of knockoffs when it comes to these rubber band bracelets. Rainbow Loom is the original. They went by the name Twist Bands originally, and they are still one of the best looms and one of the best rubber band makers, and their pricing's fair, because at least with Rainbow Loom, you get 600 rubber bands for $3. That's $1.50 for 300 rubber bands, and some of y'all have probably noticed that a lot of companies are trying to get you to spend $1.99 to $4 on 300, or sometimes not even 300, like 100 rubber bands, and they're really a ripoff. So if you stick to the original Rainbow Loom brand, you get a fair pricing every time and really great rubber bands. Rainbow Loom uses these C clips. Darice, DIY, and Crazy Loom uses S clips. DIY's S clips tend to be rather huge, so does Darice's. Crazy Loom bounces between the small S clips and the large ones. This is a dark green. This is white. I'm going to go on to my next brand. This used to be one of my favorite brands, was Loom Bands. I get these at AC Moore and Ollie's. Also, that's what I forgot to say, I get my DIYs from Ollie's, because you get 300 rubber bands for 99 cents at Ollie's, sometimes even cheaper than that. They're like one of the cheapest places, and then AC Moore is really cheap too. Although, this was the best buy. This is 1,000 rubber bands, and Joann's had an awesome sale. I got 1,000 rubber bands for $1. Multiple colors. So, best bag ever. I also got the same bag for $2 at AC Moore once. And the bag didn't even go for a full $4 regularly. So, that's the awesome thing about that. These finally some flesh color bands started coming in, because I haven't done any of the Marvel action figures because I couldn't find a flesh color. Their other flesh colored band was too pink. It didn't look flesh color to me. It was like pink. I might go and buy off of Rainbow Loom's website for another color, but these are kind of like a really, really light tan color. So these are pretty good. It looks kind of yellowish on my camera though. But Loom Bands, they do two types of rubber bands. Their metallic bands are really wide and they don't stretch back as well as their latex-free rubber bands do. So these are the more rubber type ones. And the other ones, I have some that's metallic orange. These don't shrink back. I did these for I went shiny jack-o'-lanterns. And they don't really shrink back and stuff, but they were pretty though, and they didn't look too madly bad, because I had to use regular black rubber bands, but yeah, these are shiny metallic orange ones. Next one, I did buy some more of Darice's. Again, I got these at Joann's during this awesome 50% off sale, so these were like 50 cents for 300 rubber bands. I got dark blue and turquoise. And it's 300 rubber bands and 12 S-clips in the bags, which is very much the same. Most companies are going to give you like 9 clips and 300 bands. And then I got this lighter blue shade. AC Moore got these in, and it wasn't the best buy. This was like $1 or $1.50 for only 100 rubber bands, but they're multiple colors, and a lot of times when you buy the multiple colored rubber bands, like the tie-dyes and stuff, you get a lot less rubber bands because they're a special type. But these are really cool. It's like they marbled pink, white, and red together. I've yet to do the Rose Garden Rainbow Loom bracelet. So I was thinking that this would be really good. And wow, the focusing is going on there. Here we go. These will make a really good Rose Garden bracelet. So I bought 2 packs of them. And they come with a hook, which is pretty cool, because I saw a lot of the videos where you're making those teddy bears or Easter bunny rabbits and stuff. They'll have you make the limbs and they'll use these tiny hooks as placeholders. So like, yay, I have placeholder hooks now. And these tiny hooks also make it good for like if you're traveling, you want to do some easy handheld bracelets and stuff. You don't have to take like a whole entire loom with you. You just grab a bag of these and you already got a hook with you in the closures. It's got 6 clips, 100 rubber bands. Buy them because they're pretty, but I know it's not the best buy on rubber bands. Again, here's more loom bands. These are their new solids. Their new solids have the metallic tint to them. They look really wide. So if you're using loom band rubber bands, you might want to make sure you just use loom band rubber bands and stuff, because they look kind of funky when you use them with the Rainbow Loom, Crazy Loom, or other bands, because they're really huge and they don't necessarily stretch back once you stretch them. They can look a bit big, but they come with some pretty colors and they don't really snap all that bad, so they're pretty good, except the ones that snap bad is their jellies. They have the jelly rubber bands. They're like my least favorite. They're so pretty, but they're so easily snappable. They call their jellies glitter. This is actually glitter tie-dye. Half of this is glitter purple and half of this is a glitter blue color, and it's got little bits of glitter in it. And there's 300 of them with 12 clips. You have to watch it when you get the tie-dyes and glitters by Loom Bands. Sometimes it'll be a pack of 300, sometimes it'll be a pack of 100 for the same price. So you gotta watch out for that. I had another bag of glitters, if I could find them. Yep, here's my other bag of glitters. This one is glitter solids. There's pink, a kind of translucent one that has a slight yellow tinge, so it's not a complete, true, clear translucent. The green, and it also has blue. Then I have this one here where it's like a metallic black color. It's dark. Maybe it's like slate. They ain't really named the color on the bag. It just says metallic. But it's too dark to be silver. It's like it looks silver on the sides, but then it's this dark gray color in the middle of the bands. Then back to DIY. These were their scented line. I actually let them air out because the scent really doesn't smell like strawberries or the fruit that it says it's supposed to smell like, except for the yellow ones. The yellow ones really do smell like lemon, but these are their strawberry scented bands. I let my creation air out a bit so that now it no longer has a smell to it. Some of them changed color a bit, so I'm thinking I should let my first creations of this air out because I don't know what chemical they placed in them. after I made my creations, after I let them air out, I also washed them with soap and water before I started wearing them. Because I don't think my skin really cared much to whatever they put in these rubber bands to make them fruit scented. So just beware of that. The DIY scented ones, you got a kid with sensitive skin, you may not want to buy their fruit scented bands whatsoever. But quality wise, they still work pretty good. But I did wash them because I noticed that some of my earlier creations started changing color a bit. So I let them air out. And I also washed them with soap and water after I made my creations. I had purple ones, but I used them all up in this. So I got the purple scented ones and the pink scented ones. My yellows and my blues are from my Darice 1000 bag rubber bands. This is a cup cozy that I learned how to do on Craft Life USA's channel. She's awesome. She's like the best teacher ever. She's the best channel to watch if you want to make every accessory possible out of your rubber bands. She is awesome. But this is my cup cozy. It's a double dragon scale pattern that she uses. And I ran out pink and purple rubber bands that would look good for this. So I used my blue and yellows to tie it off. So it kind of almost looks like a corset where I tied it off. But it works awesome, and it's like the best cup cozy ever because I don't feel the heat from my coffee cup or the cold when I put it on my cold water bottles. So this really does save your hands, and it's really pretty. And I did it in pastel colors for Easter, so it's really awesome. This is about 2 months old. It has not broke. So really good, durable. If you use it on a wide cup, it's going to forever be wide enough for a wide cup. It's not going to shrink back because it's going to stay stretched to the size of the widest cup that you use it on. So just keep that in mind. Don't put this in the microwave. Take this off of your cup before you reheat your drinks and stuff because it will ruin it. Same thing if you're washing dishes. This will last you a lot longer if you remember to take this off and maybe wash it in something a more gentle soap and water to clean it. Not your Ultra Dawn. This is my Autism bracelet. I know, not a rubber band, but I'm going to show this because I bought all these blue rubber bands because I have not made anything for autism this April. It is Autism Awareness Month, so I want to take a stab at making the Autism Bear, or I might take the belly idea from the Autism Bear that Marloom has and do her bunny instead, but with an autism puzzle piece belly. So that's what I got for donating at Panera Bread. The Panera logo washed off of it, but it's blue, and I wear it every single day I go to work for autism awareness. This is another one I did the pink and purple beads, and I got gold bands. I used them all up, and again, it's DIY brand, and they're kind of huge, so this was the Chinese lantern bracelet. They turned out a lot better on the creator's video than they turned out with these because I didn't use the best branded rubber bands for it. But I do love it. It's like the Chinese paper lantern bracelet if you ever want to look it up. I didn't buy these either. Someone made this bracelet and left them at my job's customer service desk. I think I had an admirer, and they had so much fun doing rubber band bracelets when we were able to do rubber band bracelet tutorials, and they made this. It looks like a triple single, but the middle roll's actually in the middle, kind of like how the zippy chain goes. I would love to figure out how they did this, doing a triple single zippy chain like hybrid. If you know the name of this pattern, let me know, but it's awesome. They used multiple colors. There's tie-dye, there's glitter bands, there's all sorts of rubber band colors in this. It's beautiful. I love it. Thank you, Secret Creator. This is my springtime Starburst bracelet. It's like a flower garden box. It's DIY's neon colors, which I can't find anymore. I actually love this color mix. They do break easily, though. I don't know, like the yellows and the orange were really, really thin compared to the green, blue, and pink rubber bands. So they snap really easy. I cried a couple of times because I almost ran out of rubber bands trying to make one that will stay together. And then I made like a kind of a starfishy sunflower sort of charm. I was fooling around with Made by Mommy Snowflake charm to see if I can make a little different charm. And that's what it looks like. It's losing its shape because I used 2 different brands. But it's cute and pretty for the springtime. I bought a bag of golds. This is a yellower gold than the golds that I used in my Chinese paper lantern. I was trying to find them. It's by the same brand, Loom Brands, but they added more yellow to their gold now. So I still bought them because it's really a nice gold color still. And I bought this darker purple. A lot of times you can't find dark purple. You can always find this lighter purple and purples that are lighter. But I bought this darker purple, so now I have dark purple. Another bag of Rainbow Loom rubber bands. This is their translucent. So yay, I actually have pure translucents because I had a hard time finding these. They don't get a lot of different colors in it at my local Michaels. They really don't. So when you see a color that you're looking for, grab it because you don't know if they'll ever get back in and stuff, because I think they all come in the same box and they go by what the computer says they have for rubber bands, and it doesn't tell them the different colors, so it's not cool. So I saw these, they got them back in, and this time I grabbed them. You can't use your Michaels coupons or any coupons on Rainbow Loom branded rubber bands, but it's because it's a small business that makes Rainbow Loom, so I can totally respect that because I want the profits to go to the creators. So that's why I get them anyways. And like I said, they're an awesome and fair price in the store anyways. Compared to a lot of the rip-off artists that are ripping from Rainbow Loom that are charging so much money for so few rubber bands. Rainbow Loom's awesome. Staying fair, giving you lots of rubber bands. These are translucents with this tan color. I wanted this tan color, but I cannot find solids of this tan color. I think Rainbow Loom might have it available now because they came out with some flesh tones. But, it's Loom bands, and they're half translucent. Now, I think once you put them together, you're going to not really notice the translucent that bad. More white ones for DIY, and I haven't tested these out yet. I thought these looked so cool. These are pearls. And here is what I mean by knockoffs of DIY. This is the colorful DIY bands. These are not by DIY by Expressions. You only get 100 of them for like $1 to $1.50 or $1.99 depending on what store you go to. Got these at AC Moore. These were so cool though because they are pearly bands. I don't know how well they're going to work with other rubber bands, but I'm going to try them out. But you get 100 of them because, again, these are special type rubber bands, so you don't get the standard 300 with them. But they're so cool. I got one in blue or turquoise, and then I got another one in pink. And again, like the ones that I'm going to use for my rose garden, they come with a hook. They come with these really weird, instead of S-clips, they come with these really weird, what look like giant C-clips. Or they're almost like slightly closed. But that's what they come with. And I never can have enough yellows. I used up all my yellow rubber bands on making the Despicable Me minion. Which is here. This is my second one I've done. The first one I done did not have arms and legs. I did it when the first video of Despicable Me Minion came out. I think the very first video released with Despicable Me Minion was by Word Girl. And hers didn't have arms and legs. And then I was watching PG Loomis and his action figures, and I was like, wait, I could just add it to my triple and single and add arms and legs to my Despicable Me figure. So I made a second one. I even added suspender bands to him. This is a much taller minion than my first minion. I did a short minion for my first one. And he's got a yellow and blue extension. And his crazy little hair at the top. And the goggles completely made out of rubber bands. And these are my other two creations I recently did. Olivia's Lumencraft. This is her Amore bracelet. It's an X and O bracelet that ends up looking like flowers. I love it. So I love that she went with Amore for the name because it's just so pretty. It's, you know, it kind of reminds me of the Starburst a little bit, only it's not a Starburst, but it's really pretty. And this is an X's and O pattern that's kind of gets twisted up a bit, but it's O's on one side and X's on the other. And for those of you that don't see definite O's or definite X's, think of it more like in terms of if the O's were a stitch pattern, the X's were a stitch pattern. This is one of my favorite X's and O's, and it kind of looks good when you wear it twisted too. But it's hard to kind of like get to twist back with the type of rubber bands that I use. I think they were DIY bands again. And then I did a double single bracelet design to make my ring. It's a rainbow colored ring. So originally it was my fishtail lanyard and it broke. I wore it to work, so it kept getting caught on things and it broke. So it's not a lack of quality of the rubber bands. The fact that I was able to use them to make another creation after them being so stretched out is just a tribute to the quality of the rubber bands. These are, again, Crazy Loom rubber bands that I got for my job. I'm not going to name my job because they got rules. And those rules involve me not naming them on social networks. So, you can get Crazy Loom rubber bands at Toys R Us, mostly. You can get the Crazy Looms in special Crazy Loom boxes pretty much everywhere, though. Which I find kind of weird, that you can find the rubber bands at Toys R Us and the looms elsewhere. But I think right now you can only get certain colors and certain Crazy Loom sets at Toys R Us, because Toys R Us was the first store to carry Crazy Loom stuff. But I've now seen Crazy Loom at Target and Joann's and AC Moore, but not their rubber bands, which is really, really strange. But, yeah. And I didn't use a closure on it because I didn't like how the closure felt on my finger. I just used a broken rubber band to tie off my ring. So you can do that. You don't always have to use an S or C hooks, but that's my gigantic, ginormous rubber band haul from Ollie's, AC Moore, Toys R Us, and Michael's. So, later, I'll go back on here if I make something awesome and new.